Hello and welcome to the World Battery Metals and Mining News for the 6th of August, 2024. Chile copper export revenue rises in July despite lower prices. Chilean copper exports witnessed a modest rise in July, despite the ongoing dance of lowered prices, suggesting the mines in the world's copper capital are shaking off their operational blues. With a 1.5% increase from June and a notable 31% year-over-year leap, as per the central bank's revelation, this upswing hints at a resurgence in output, even though prices had a sunnier disposition the previous month. Chile, commanding over a quarter of global copper production, had trudged through its lowest output in 2 decades, thanks to quality pinch and operational hiccups at power players like Codelco. Now, with hefty investments aimed at tapping richer ore, production is poised for an upswing, says the government. A rational, clean mining approach? Certainly hopeful. Zambia's proposed minerals law may hurt copper investment, Mines Lobby says. Ah, Zambia, the land of scenic beauty and now potentially nightmarish regulation. The government's proposal for the Minerals Regulation Commission bill could be the ultimate buzzkill for any serious investor looking at copper exploration there. This nifty piece of legislation plans to give Zambia's finance minister the power to hold a share in mining licenses, if minerals are found, effectively throttling property rights and driving investment risks through the roof. The Zambia Chamber of Mines and the Association of Zambian Mineral Exploration Companies eloquently pointed out that forced-free carry stakeholds could put a serious dent in investor confidence. President Hichilema's ambition to ramp up copper production to 3 million tons per year might just meet the grim reality of regulatory overreach. Sorry, Zambia, but unless you want that copper to gather rust in the ground, it might be time to reconsider. Australia's lithium industry seen bearing brunt of supply cuts. Arcadium Lithium's recent decision to review its Mount Catlin operations epitomizes the broader troubles plaguing the lithium sector, courtesy of plummeting raw material prices driven by slower-than-expected EV adoption. Despite grand projections, rapid supply expansion has backfired, squeezing margins to their lowest in 3 years and forcing firms like Albemarle to hit the brakes on expansion plans and even cut jobs. Now, with spot prices for spodumene lingering around $940 a metric ton and expected to dip further, high-cost mining operations, mainly in Australia, are squarely in the crosshairs. Australian suppliers are at a disadvantage compared to more cost-effective South American brine producers and integrated operations in China and Africa. Analysts foresee a rough ride ahead as single-asset companies like Liontown Resources and Pilbara Minerals, which bet heavily on new projects, struggle to stay afloat amidst this price drop. Chris Chong of Mineral Resources summed it up aptly. The market's softness, exacerbated by dwindling EV demand from the US and Europe, has caught everyone off guard. Isn't it refreshing to see that the industry heavyweights continue to pray at the altar of market forces, despite their well-documented myopia? Glencore ceases to stockpile cobalt. Glencore's chief, Gary Nagle, announced the cessation of stockpiling cobalt, recognizing an ongoing market surplus likely to persist for another 18 to 20 months. Last year, Glencore amassed cobalt stock to boost prices but kept the stockpile size undisclosed. With cobalt production surging primarily from the DRC, prices have plunged to $12 per pound, the lowest since 2016. Now, Glencore has commenced selling off some of its surplus, suggesting a significant market readjustment. China's CMOC group is also elevating its cobalt output in Congo, aiming for 100,000 tons annually by 2028. Despite a forecasted surplus in the near term, Nagle believes this is a temporary imbalance rather than a structural shift, though cobalt prices won't reach past peaks due to evolving battery technologies minimizing cobalt use. Glencore scraps plans to ditch coal on investor pressure. Glencore has decided to ditch plans to separate its coal operations after acquiring assets from Teck Resources, a move strongly supported by more than 95% of its shareholders. Apparently, the investors are still enamored with the lucrative cash flows generated by coal, despite the growing chorus to exit fossil fuels and reduce emissions. The Swiss-based mining giant had originally intended to merge its coal assets with Teck's, and then demerge the combined unit. However, it seems the allure of keeping the cash cow within the company outweighs the so-called climate commitments touted in their 2024-2026 Climate Action Transition Plan. Let's not kid ourselves. Glencore's business backbone has always been coal, especially with figures like former CEO Ivan Gleisenberg, who capitalized on Asia's insatiable coal appetite. While environmental NGOs and some market actors lament Glencore's reluctance to completely divest from coal, the company's management is keen to oversee a responsible decline of thermal coal while still eyeing potential investments in steelmaking coal. Of course, they promise to do it all responsibly, whatever that means. Qatar invests $180 million in U.S.-backed fund to reduce China's dominance in critical minerals. Qatar's sovereign wealth fund is pouring $180 million into TechMet, an investment outfit with backing from the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, to secure a stable supply of critical minerals like lithium, nickel, and cobalt. TechMet plans to utilize these funds to enhance its existing assets and expand its portfolio, which boasts investments across multiple continents in projects such as Brazilian nickel and Cornish lithium. This move aligns with the U.S. government's strategy to reduce China's stranglehold on the critical minerals market by courting investments from key allies in the Gulf, including Qatar. According to TechMet CEO Brian Manel, the combined might of a major sovereign investor and U.S. support accelerates TechMet's mission to scale critical mineral production and refining operations. While the geopolitical chess game plays out, the real winners here could very well be the supply chains for these pivotal resources, now valued at over $1 billion. Oh, and let's not forget the irony of using Middle Eastern oil money to fund the Green Revolution. Classic. Yukon government will not halt mining despite First Nations concerns. The Yukon government has decided not to halt all mining operations in the First Nation of Nacho-Nyakdun FNNND territory following a cyanide-related landslide at Victoria Gold's Eagle Mine heap leach facility on June 24. Instead, Premier Ranj Pillai announced a pause on new projects and consultations for a short period while an independent review is conducted. Stopping mining activities would have severe economic and legal consequences under current laws. Existing operations with permits will continue, but no new heap leach facilities will be licensed until the review's recommendations are integrated. While the Yukon acknowledges the need to protect public health and the environment, it emphasizes a balanced approach to maintain the backbone of its economy, mining. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone could adopt such a rational perspective instead of jumping on the bandwagon? Kingsgate could consolidate as Chatree enters full production. Kingsgate Consolidated is keen to ramp up production at its Chatree gold mine while remaining opportunistic about acquisitions, as highlighted by CEO Jamie Gibson at the Diggers and Dealers Mining Forum in Kalgoorlie. With assets spread across Thailand and Chile, the company is strategically positioned for growth in the current bullish gold market, despite recent fluctuations. They're aggressively exploring near the Chatree site, eyeing significant system extensions, with plans for using the fresh $35 million facility from Nabari Gold Fund to fully finance Chatree's operations and new equipment acquisitions. While open to acquiring existing producers to seamlessly integrate new ounces, their immediate focus remains on bringing Chatree to full capacity and exploring lucrative nearby opportunities. Amidst strong gold prices and fluctuating global demand, Kingsgate remains steadfast in leveraging its resources for sustained growth and profitability. Chilean fuel-to-forestry giant Copec explores green hydrogen, copper options. Empresas Copec S.A., Chile's leading industrial group, is on the lookout for expansion in green hydrogen and copper mining to tap into the burgeoning demand driven by the clean energy transition. Dominated by the Angelini family, Copec has traditionally relied on fossil fuels and wood products, but is increasingly venturing into renewable energy and alternative fuels. Strategy and Development Manager Jorge Ferrando hinted at the potential for larger hydrogen projects and suggested partnerships to help shoulder the investment burden. While electrification creates favorable conditions for copper, even amid the metal's recent price drop, Copec is keen to replicate the success of its existing stake in Peru's Mina Justa copper mine through new endeavors. Currently, Mina Justa is eyeing a decision on a $400 million underground project, showing Copec's mix of prudent investments and strategic expansion. Namibia says just 42% of approved mining projects are operating. Namibia's mining and energy minister, Tom Alwindo, announced that less than half of the country's approved mining projects are operational, prompting a stricter permit issuance to better utilize its resources. Given its prominent position as the world's third-largest uranium producer and its wealth of lithium and rare earth minerals, Namibia is keen on reallocating benefits towards its residents in a more equitable manner. Alwindo highlighted that many licenses had been granted to applicants without adequate capabilities, resulting in idle projects. Moving forward, only firms demonstrating sufficient technical know-how and financial stability will receive permits, with all new agreements formalized in a stringent mining agreement. It's refreshing to see some backbone in safeguarding national interests, rather than just handing out licenses willy-nilly. With over 600 new applications in the pipeline and 400 more expected in 2024, Namibia is clearly a hotbed for future resource development. China's PBOC keeps gold buying on hold as prices hit record. Despite gold's record high prices, China's central bank has refrained from increasing its gold reserves for 3 consecutive months as of July, maintaining a consistent 72.8 million troy ounces. The halt in buying, after an 18-month spree, seems largely influenced by the surge in gold prices, as high costs have similarly affected central banks globally, with Singapore notably reducing its reserves in June. The World Gold Council highlighted a notable 39% slump in state-backed demand from the first to the second quarter of this year. Still, analysts speculate that the People's Bank of China might resume purchases to diversify its reserves and protect itself from a weakening currency. Meanwhile, in an economy suffering weak retail sales for luxury items, gold bars and coins are gaining popularity among investors and family offices in Asia, solidifying demand to the best second quarter in 25 years. Could it be China's way of safeguarding its finances while the Fed toys with monetary easing? Only time will tell. IGO looking to divest some Forrestania nickel assets. IGO Limited, a key player in nickel and lithium production, is finalizing a transaction with Medallion Metals to offload parts of its Forrestania nickel operation in Western Australia, potentially fetching up to $50 million. With Forrestania's resources dwindling after 18 years in service, IGO plans to transition it to care and maintenance by fiscal 2025. This move is timely as IGO reevaluates its assets amidst a nickel price slump caused by oversupply. By slimming down its executive team and seeking to maximize cash, IGO aims for strategic realignment. Medallion, on the other hand, eyes this as an opportunity to leverage IGO's Cosmic Boy process plant for its Ravensthorpe gold project, reflecting on their exclusivity deal for a 90-day due diligence and negotiation period. Astute Metals confirms Red Mountain lithium zones. Astute Metals is making headway with its Red Mountain project in Nevada, as the final assays from recent drilling revealed multiple zones of lithium mineralization, boosting the project's prospects. The company's chairman, Tony Leibowitz, emphasized the promising scale and grade indicated by results such as 25.9 meters at 1,120 ppm lithium in drill hole RMRC-08 and 29 meters at 1,060 ppm lithium in RMRC-009. With plans to conduct further drilling and metallurgical test work, as well as potentially deploying airborne hyperspectral surveys, Astute Metals aims to compile a maiden JORC mineral resource estimate. This project might just be the shot in the arm that the company, valued at a market cap of $13.56 million, needs to emerge from obscurity. However, let's hope they don't get carried away with all the hype, as fundamentals in the mining industry always remain paramount over speculative excitement. Liontown delivers first ore, spodumene concentrate at Kathleen Valley. Liontown Resources has marked significant progress at its Kathleen Valley lithium project in Western Australia, mining and delivering its first spodumene concentrate to port. These milestones come just after the company inaugurated production through the entire value chain. Having initiated underground operations in November 2023, Liontown extracted its first ore from the Mount Mann underground site in August 2024 and expects further production from the stoping cycle by year-end. Notably, 145 tons of spodumene concentrate were dispatched to the port of Geraldton for stockpiling and shipment. With Tier 1 contractors Burnacott and Cube driving productivity and efficiency, CEO Tony Ottaviano highlights the company's rapid transition from construction to production, positioning Liontown as a key emerging supplier of battery minerals. The company showcased its achievements at the 2024 Diggers and Dealers Mining Forum in Kalgoorlie.